Alright, welcome back, SUMARI Dark Arts. You know me by now. It's a 64 video. Where have I been? I've been on a fucking mission. Yeah, man. I just been busy, man, taking care of things, you know, my reality, other realities, doing what I have to do. A lot of teaching, things like that. Work and other types of teaching outside the classroom. But yeah, man, I got a lot of things going on I want to share with you guys. Starting off with one, I've been getting contact. You know, it's funny, right? Because I would say maybe about 2 years ago, I don't know, maybe a couple of years ago, I was talking to this guy, this doctor, and he was telling me basically that over here in Japan, like the biggest problem with a lot of people is that when they don't believe in any spirituality. I mean, Japan is basically a Buddhist country, but most people don't really they're not really religious and things. Like, it's kind of funny and it's interesting too, you know, because a lot of cats, most of them, they'll go to temple and, they'll pray and burn the incense and hit the gong and do all that shit. But at the end of the day, they don't really believe in any of it. And they'll tell you, it's not like I'm bashing anybody. Like, they'll tell you straight out. They'll be like, oh yeah, I go to temple and all that, but it's like, whatever. They're not really into it. Not to say like some religious people would be if they're practicing like a Muslim or a Catholic or whatever, like people who literally go to the mosque or go to church on a regular basis. Over here is mostly like, if it's a special holiday, New Year's or some kind of day or some event or whatever like that, people will go then to these temples. But yeah, so me and this doctor were talking, and he was basically telling me, like, in Japan, most people don't believe in any religion, and what he's noticed is that when it's time for them to die, when they have like on their deathbed, or they get diagnosed with some type of serious cancer or any type of illness, they suddenly become real religious all of a sudden, and they want to get into a faith. And he was saying that from his perspective, that they don't really know how to deal with this. I mean, he's a doctor, and that's nice, but when you tell a person, all right, you got 6 months to live, or something like that, for them, that's where it stops. I mean, they don't go into the whole, it's like, they can't pick up from that point. It's like, who picks it up from that point, man? It's like, you tell a person you got X amount of time to live, and then from there, it's just like, all right, sorry to tell you this, you got 6 months to live. Good luck. I mean, it's probably not like that, but it's close. Shit, man. They don't really give these people nothing to work with. I mean, they might tell you could do these treatments, and maybe you get lucky, and maybe this ease the pain. But what about the psychic pain, man? What about the emotional pain, the spiritual pain, the psychological pain that people got to go through? With the concept of, if you never believed in anything, see, this is why I used to get on science, man. I still do, to a point where it's like, science is nice and all, but at the end of the day, it doesn't take care of everything. Because when you tell a person that you got X amount of time to live and leave it at that, it's kind of like, well, what comes now? What am I going to do now? I mean, you're telling me I'm going to die, but at the same time, it's like, you ain't giving me nothing else to work with. And they can't, because that's not their background. They come from a very logical state of mind, a very scientific mind frame, a frame of mind, and it's comical because, like, a lot of healthcare professionals, they say they want to help the individual and help the patient, but to help someone is to help them on all levels, not just the physical. Because for me, that's kind of like a true medical physician, a true medical person, a medical doctor, or anyone from that science-related field that's claiming to want to help people. The first step should be, okay, you have X amount of time. This is how I imagine to be, right? In my world, in my universe, it's like, all right, I'm sorry to tell you this. You have X amount of time to live, possibly. You wouldn't say like you're definitely gonna die in this amount of time. You say, well, look, at the way things are going right now with your current medical diagnosis and progression level of this illness, I could estimate that if it continues at this rate of speed, you probably would have about 5 to 6 months to live. And then once you get that, you say, well, however, now, if that does take place, let's start talking about your other options, your multidimensional options, and start getting you prepared, your state of mind, for what happens after you die. And that's where they can't pick up on, and that's where somebody like me might come in. So when this doctor told me this, right, I came up with this idea. I said, wow, it would really be nice if they had some type of organization or someone who could really help these people, a transitional specialist maybe, help them get ready for their transition to the next life. And it doesn't have to be like a religious person, because like if you're dealing with a person who's not a Catholic, not a Buddhist, not Muslim, all these things, but what do you tell them? And I believe that we can come at this from a perspective of, I mean, you work within the person's framework of beliefs. You know, if they're Catholic, you talk to them from that perspective. If they're Muslim, if they're whatever they are, you come at them from that angle. If the person is none of the above, then you can go with, see, it's like, if you want to get into science, like even that framework of belief can still help you, because you don't have to go into like, oh, well, you're going to go to heaven, you're going to go to nirvana and all this stuff. You could come at a different angle, like, look, listen, there's been a lot of scientific studies proving, showing that consciousness continues after death. And a lot of scientific people have come together, and many people agree with this concept of this life after death. And, you know, everything is energy, and energy can never be destroyed, and all that stuff. And that's just one example how you could come at them from that, you know, that angle. But, yeah, so I had the idea. I said, that would be nice. And then I said, well, it's probably never going to happen. So why not me? Why not let it be me, you know? Now, I'm just talking, I'm just brainstorming. You know, this is nothing new. People have been doing this for thousands of years, you know, shamans and all kind of other indigenous people. So I'm not coming out with the fucking, you know, grand old and saying this is the best thing since the hula hoop. I'm just saying that right now we don't really have anyone in that position. And yeah, so fast forwarding, right? I had that idea. So I started thinking about that idea a lot again recently, and I thought, well, that was a pretty good idea. You know, what if I could help people who are supposedly dying and getting ready to transition over, and just help ease their minds into what's going to happen or what they could expect, things like that. And it's like, somebody might say, well, why you? Well, why not me? Shit, nobody else is going to do it, right? Where are the other people doing this right now? They may exist somewhere, but it's not mainstream. And it's not really about if anyone's doing it or not doing anything like that. It's just about helping people in general. So once I started thinking about that more, you know, your thoughts bring things towards you, create your reality. A person contacted me, and he's been watching my videos, and he basically told me that he had some type of liver disease, and that he had a few months to live, 5 months to live, 6 months to live. Now, this person told me this. He put a video up on, I recommended him to make some videos, you know, for kind of like, you know, to get his word out, see what he has to say before he ended up passing away. And he put one video up, which was nice. He thanked me a lot, recommended others to watch my videos. But I checked recently, he took it back down, so I don't know. Hopefully he's okay. I don't know if he passed away or not, or if he became really sick. And even if it was a hoax, you know, some people might say, well, how do you know he was in, you know, maybe he was just bullshitting. I mean, who knows? Maybe, I don't know. But it's not the point. The point is somebody came to me asking for help, and I did what I had to do. And I talked to that person for, you know, quite some time. And basically, what I've been saying, I gave them a framework of belief to look forward to once they leave this reality. Whether this was a real situation or not, doesn't matter. The point is, for me, it was real, and I got the experience in. And yeah, so then right after that, it's funny because shit was happening, right, like back to back. That happened, and then like a few days later, another person watching my videos, their father passed away in a tragic accident, a car accident, and the person's father got killed. He died. And, you know, he sent me a message, and he was like, oh, what can I do? Is there any way I could change reality? And for me it was really sad because I know when people lose family members, like everyone is desperate. I mean, we only wish that we could somehow turn back time itself and prevent these things from happening. But I basically had to tell the person, like in a very nice way, but I was basically just like, look, man, we've been through this. You've watched my videos. We've talked personally about these things. You know that as long as you're in a physical reality and a body, he was like, well, we're all powerful and we have all these powers of consciousness. Can I go back in time and change this event? And it really hurt me because I had to keep it real and I'd be like, look, you know the deal, man. Like, the same with me. If somebody passed away, I wish I could go back and reverse time and bring the person back. But unfortunately, in this reality, as long as we have physical bodies, that type of stuff it doesn't work that way. So anyway, we talked for a while, and then he contacted me, and I contacted him, and then finally he was like, well, he took the next best option, which I told him, you got to try to pay attention within the next few days. Your father will probably try to contact you, and you pick up some impressions, pay attention to, I told him, pay attention to your feelings, pay attention to your thoughts, because generally around that time, that's when loved ones try to contact you and make themselves known. So he asked me, then he ended up sending me a mail, and he was like, well, can you do me a favor? Can you contact my father and tell him that he's a multidimensional being, he creates his own realities and all this stuff? And I didn't turn him away. I simply said, I think that you're the best person to do that right now. Because, number one, I never met his father. Number two, I have no connection with his father. I mean, who else would be better than to make that information known or to contact a loved one than the person who you're related to? I mean, that's a blood relative here in physical reality, and it's your own father. So I told him I felt that it was best if he at least attempted to do it himself first. Now, see, man, not to sidestep for a minute, not to jump over the top, but this goes to show you that there's a lot of people out there, man, that they would have taken full advantage of this situation. They would have been like, oh, yes, no problem. I could contact your father. I could send him to the light. I can make sure he gets his fucking golden Willy Wonka ticket to the chocolate factory in heaven. All it's going to cost you is like a small fee of, $100. And they would have took advantage of this person, man, and started charging fees and saying they could do a fucking spell and a ritual and all this stuff, man. It's like, that didn't even enter my mind, of course. So I was like, well, look, man, this is what I want you to do. I want you to try to do this first. I want you to try to contact. I give him like some meditation things to do to get him into that frame of mind. So he contacted me like maybe sometime later, a few days later, something, a week later. And he was basically like, well, look, I tried. I had one dream about my father. Like he didn't have any dreams of his father, no contact, no impressions, nobody, no thoughts of people being around him. And he said that he had one dream, but it was nothing special, not enough to make him feel that, what's the word I'm looking for? The closure, for him losing his father so suddenly. So he was like, yeah, I had one dream, but it was nothing really. We were just sitting in a car and I wasn't really conscious. It was just a normal dream. Nothing really happened. So he was like, well, I know that you said I should do it myself, but can you please at least do this for me? And so I said, all right, this person's asking me, so I can't refuse him. So he said, I'm going to send you 3 pictures. He sent me some photos of his father and his father's full name. So I said, all right. And I kept it real. I didn't say, well, no problem, I'm going to contact him. We're going to talk. I'm going to play fucking cards. I was just like, look, man, I'll do this for you. But I'm not going to tell you that I'm going to have a 2-way conversation with him and all this stuff. But I will send the energy to him and all of that. So what happened was, and he understood that. So the terms were set. So I said, all right. So he sent me the information. And that night, when I was on the train, I looked at the photos. I was studying the photos. I was looking at his father's face deeply. And already projecting myself, my consciousness, to contact this person's father. Then when I got home that night, and after I took a nice shower and I got into that like zone of meditating and all that stuff, before bed, I started visualizing his father in my mind. And what I visualized basically was me sending out a message into all reality. And with his father's, even though I never met his father, being that I have his father's photo here and the name, I basically in my deep meditation, I visualized the Father. I called out his name within myself and sent that power out to him, basically like in one package, like an email saying, hey, your son wants me to contact you. He wants you to know you're multidimensional. Now, his father probably would know all this stuff already. Who knows? He might, come into his own knowledge and his own awareness of what he is. But just in case if he didn't, I want to do this for this fellow brother of ours. So, yeah, I said all this stuff. I had like a whole speech basically in my mind that I took time out to do and basically explain the situation, his situation. You passed away. Maybe you know this, maybe you don't. But if you don't know this situation, your son asked me to contact you. This person's all the way living in Mexico to contact me with this. So that makes me feel honored. That somebody would contact me from across the world to ask me to do this for them. So, and it was my first time to ever do this. No one's ever asked me to contact someone that's just recently passed away. I usually would stay away from stuff like that because it usually brings a lot of negative connotations with people be charging money and there's a whole lot of bullshit behind it. But in one part of me had a doubt. I said, can I really pull this off? Can I do this? And then as soon as I said it, the inner self came to me, in my meditation. It was like, don't doubt yourself. You know better than that. You're multidimensional yourself. And it told me, it said, you're going to do two things. You're going to do this here in the meditation, and then you're going to send this message also in the dream state. So I said, okay. So I remembered the name, and I went to bed. And when I crossed over, immediately I was in this dream where I was conscious of you as usual. And I started calling out his father's name. I remembered the name in my head before I went to bed. So basically what I did was I called out the father's name like maybe 1 or 2 times. And as I said the name, behind the name, I also put the energy out there, the intention of the same thing I did in the meditation, the information I wanted him to receive. And that was it. I did my part. And when I did this, I had no doubt within my mind that he was not going to get this information. I knew deep down 100% he was going to get this, because even though I didn't in the meditation, I knew the dream state. When you send messages through the dream realm and non-physical reality, especially when you get into that dream realm, things go like, they cut straight through. It does the same thing here also, but if you have any type of doubt here in physical reality, when you do it in the dream state, or a really deep meditation trance, you definitely know it's going to reach this person, because there's no space and time. Time is an illusion, so there's no, what's the word I'm looking for? There's no hold up, basically. It's like a direct psychic spiritual email straight to the person. So I got an email from this cat 2 days later, and he said, well, I'm going to read to you exactly what he said. Of course, I'm not going to give names for obvious reasons, but I just want to give you an idea what he said. He writes to me, he says, hey man, I just wanted to tell you that these last 2 days, my dad has been manifesting himself at my house in physical reality, as well as delivering a message to a friend in a dream. So he delivered that message to the family. I'm guessing a friend of his got a message from his dad and delivered to his family. And yesterday I felt him strongly, so it seems you gave him a lot of power. Thanks, man. It seems he really got it. You see? So that's just an example, man, of the power that we all have. You don't need to pay people for this shit. I mean, I just did that because he's a fellow brother of ours, and he's been giving me support, watching my videos, following my crazy ass for a long time. So that's what I could do for him and others. But yeah, we all have these abilities, and everything I just talked about now, the same applies for you. If someone passes away, everything I just said. I don't want to get into it, but yeah, that's what you do. You pay attention to your thoughts, feelings, your emotions after that time immediately. You pay attention to odd things happening that seem out of place, feelings that seem out of place, and you try contacting your loved ones through deep meditation, send them whatever, any message you have, as long as you know who the person is and you have an image of them, you have their at least even a photograph. If you don't know the person, you'll contact them. No worries, going to get to them, because everyone has their own signature. So even the photo itself, even though I never met this person before, the photo itself, the image of him is his signature. Everything's a symbol. It's all about symbolism. And well, I don't mean everything is symbolism, but basically we are symbols of ourselves. Symbols. Everyone, when you think of a symbol, you just think of like some type of three-dimensional, non-life symbol that has no life force or anything. But we are symbols of ourselves. I'm a symbol. You watch me, even if you don't know my name or what I am. You see me, you watch my videos. I become a symbol for you. You may become a symbol for other people. Just like Jesus Christ is a symbol for some. Allah. All these things are symbols for other people. So, yeah, he was a symbol of himself, the Father's picture. And being that I had that was enough, and his name, to get that information to him. So, that's all I had to say. Like, I got to keep this short because I got to get out of here. But, don't worry, I'm coming back with some more videos, man. I know you always say that shit, man. You make one good video, then you take off and leave us for a few months, man. But, yeah, I've been getting into some real deep shit, man. It seems like the things that I've been wanting to do or talking about have been coming true. Like the person who was supposedly dying, I hope he's okay. I haven't heard from him. He's passing away. I heard from him, and that's what I want to do. And then this person contacted me, which I didn't expect, but that seems like something new that I can help people with. And also yesterday I had a kind of I don't even know what to call it, but it was, I don't want to say like a mentorship or spiritual counselor and all that, but something along those lines. Like a person I know contacted me, and we met 2 times. The second time we met, and we had like a real sit down, and basically for about 2 hours I was explaining to them all this stuff about the nature of reality, space and time, and getting them ready for their training. And they're very excited about that, and it was asking a lot of good questions, and I had to basically break it down. It's good for me as well on my path because, like I said before, I'm really advanced and I do all this wild shit, but at the same time, like, if I come across someone, you see what I'm saying? When you become on a certain level of proficiency with your abilities, it's easy to get selfish, You're like, oh, fuck these people, man. I'm already doing all this. I ain't gotta go back to that. I don't need to help anybody, man. Fuck it. They can learn on their own. I learned by myself. And that's true to a point, but it's like, it's good training for me because it makes me focus back on when I first started to remember all of this and remember what I was. And I have to break it back down, because like when I meet a person who's just come into it, I can't get into deep details about probable realities, alternate selves, alternate realities, space-time continuum, there's no time, there's no reality, and all this shit. And it'll be like, what the fuck is he talking about? So I have to like break it back down, go back to basics is what I'm saying, and explain things in a simple format for people that could understand it. And even more of a challenge because I'm in Japan, so the person I was talking to is, in this reality, they're Japanese, and they can speak English, but the level's not like a native speaking, so even more I have to focus on what I say, and I have to also be careful of what I say. This person started out being afraid of everything, afraid of her own shadow, afraid of her own voice. And now I've worked her up to the point where she's starting to have her own experiences with her inner self. She's starting to go into other realities. So this is like one of my little, not experiments, I'm not going to say that, but it's like a good, just good progression is all I can say. This person is having very good progression for her level that she's at and her abilities. And I left her and I was like, fuck, man, am I like a teacher now? It's like I make these videos, but for me, like, that's where it always stopped at. Yeah, I do my videos and that's my service for the day. But it seems that I've been called on in other directions, being called for other things outside the context of videos. So, I can't be bullshitting. I can't be a bullshitting phony. I can't be like, say all this stuff in the videos and then somebody's like, contacts me outside the videos in person on video. I'm like, fuck off, go do it yourself. Because I'm bullshit, man. I'm just a fake and a phony, man. So, even if I don't want to do it, if somebody contacts me and it's genuine, I'm not saying no bullshit like, oh yeah, why'd you contact me? Because I want to know my future and my winning lotto numbers. Is my girl cheating on me? All that dumb shit. I don't contact me with stuff like that. But if it's something sincere and serious, those things I take very serious because I take what I talk about very serious. But anyway, that's all I'm gonna say for now. I know I keep saying this, but I promise all of you I'm gonna start making more videos. Basically, I had no time to do this one, but I was like, you know what? If I don't get one video out and get this shit rolling, I'll keep saying, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow. And the reason I took a break for a while, like I said, I had other things going on with myself that I had to do, my own abilities I had to work with. And I just hate talking about bullshit, I mean, I could be like anybody else and jump on here and make some videos, rant about some bullshit, and and I'm sure a lot of people probably say, well, just talk. We don't care. We want to hear anything, But I really don't like just getting on talking about nothing. I like to really have something to say if I'm going to say anything, because that would devalue, what I'm putting out here. But yeah, I'm gonna really try to get back into this stuff, man, making videos. And if you guys want to see more of me talking about this crazy shit, just hit me up. Send me a message on YouTube. Just say, whatever. Just let me know, because I don't know who watches this. I mean? I put the videos out, and that's about it. And a few regular people who've been supporting me contact me, but I don't know if people really want to hear this shit or not. Not saying that it should, but you know what I'm saying. There's, what makes me different? There's like 2 billion other people on fucking YouTube talking about maybe not exactly the same thing, but everybody got their own shit going on, their own so-called spirituality and things. So, yeah. All right. Now I got to get out of here. So, look. Samari to all of you out there. Matter of fact, I'm going to go old school. Seth Samari to all of you out there. Fuck it. Even more old school. Seth Samari Dark Arts. Now, let's get it. Remember that when I used to go by Seth Samari? What was it? It was Seth Dark Arts first. Then I went Seth Samari Dark Arts. Then I thought that was too long. Broke it down to Samari Dark Arts. Yeah. There's no, how do I say? The names are not important. We've been through that before. I don't have to get into this. I just, I'm always going to be a Seth. I'm always going to be a Seth. I'm always going to be a Samari. I'm always going to be a part of all that is. All names are one. And you guys should know that already. It doesn't matter. In the eyes of God, or from the perspective of all that is, all names are its name. All names are one. And since we're all part of all that is, every name is our name as well. So you can play the name game if you want. Get into that. But I just use the names as a focus point. Because if I didn't, I'll just have a video up with no title or nothing. But yeah, man. Yeah. Keep your power up. Keep training. Keep the energy flowing. Don't let haters keep you down. And just real quick, on a quick note, this person told me yesterday, so we were leaving, and she was like, I can't really talk to people about this stuff, man, because, and I said, don't talk to people about it. And the reason I told her this, and this applies to everybody out there as well who's watching, when you get into this in the very beginning, I know it's going to be like, oh, this is the most amazing thing ever. I'm having these experiences I want to share with my friends, my family. Don't do that. Why? Because you're not strong enough yet, probably, to withstand the doubt and the negativity not negativity, the things they're going to say to fuck with your head, because if you're just coming into this new, let's just say you got, this one cat, he or she's coming into this new, and it's starting to get all these abilities and these experiences. Yeah, it's amazing. And they start talking about, I saw this guy's video on YouTube, Seth Samari Dark Arts. And they're like, he's fucking crazy. This guy's a nut job, And that will probably detour you and make you lose motivation to continue. And that's what happens to most individuals with this type of shit. So I say, at least in the beginning, keep it low profile, keep it to yourself. Speak about it only to others who are within that same frame of mind, or me. And that way, it'll keep you strong. And as you progress, and once you feel you're strong enough to withstand any type of people talking shit to you that this is nonsense, you'll be strong enough to withstand it. And you don't have to worry about losing track. Because it will happen. Like, you'll come into this stuff. It's just like no different from us. We bullshit ourselves. You go to sleep at night. You have an amazing dream. I mean, fucking amazing. There's fucking star troopers, spaceships. You got all this shit going on. And at that time, you're conscious. You're like, oh, this is fucking amazing. This is the most amazing film. It was fucking better than sex, man. Or maybe not better than sex. But you get all this energy going. And then you wake up. And as soon as you open your eyes, that, ego that needs to be existent in physical reality starts kicking in. And it's like, nah, it's just a fucking dream. It's some bullshit, man. Let me go get some fucking milk. Let me turn on the hip hop MTV, and you lose it, So, all right. That's it for now. I really gotta get the fuck out of here. All right. Yeah. I'll talk to y'all at some quick point. Coming back soon. Love all of y'all. SUMARI to everybody out there. SUMARI to everybody out there. And yeah, just let me get on this note. I'm a SUMARI. A lot of people go by the name, you know, so a lot of people call me Seth. I never intended for that to be like, you know, people telling me, oh, you're trying to be like Seth, and there was only one Seth with Jane Roberts and all that. You know, we've been through this about the name thing. But if you see me on Facebook, you know, my name's Toro, man. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet all of you. My name is Toro, and that is my real name, you know. It's my family name, and that's enough. That's all you need to know right there. You know, fucking stalkers coming after me and shit. I mean, I just gave it all away right there. But yeah, my name is Toro, and Toro. And it's nice to meet all of you. And if you've been watching me for a long time, I thank all of you for the support. I know it's been a wild ride, and I've been talking about some really out there shit. But names are just names. And in this reality, my name is Toro. And let me just finish off with this real quick. Being creative. You know, you have to be creative. We've been on this before. I told you to get your journal like this, if you have one. If you don't, this is my journal. It's a very famous woodblock painting, which I forgot what era it's from. You can look at it on the internet. It's very famous. I mean, in this woodblock painting, there's a sun on this side, and you see like this cat. What he's doing is he's peeking beyond the veil. Now, you don't have to have this type of book. I mean, when you get to a certain level, like where I'm at, writing things down, just you don't really need to do it anymore, you know, because you reach this point where it's all within. But every once in a while, I might write some things down and stuff. And it's good practice in the beginning when you're starting out with this. But be creative, man. Keep your mind open. You never know what things might come to you. You know, one night you might draw a crazy-ass picture like this, which I did one night on a fucking, you know, woke up suddenly and just started drawing, and I don't draw at all. Or you might come out with some, like one day I was taking a shower, right? I was sitting down, and suddenly this whole poem, or you could call it a poem, it could be whatever you want it to be, but this is what came to me. I'm going to give you a reading from my private journal. January 26, 2011 at 12:43. I feel as if a crow perched upon a woman's windowsill in the dead of night, watching as she caresses between her thighs, searching for just the right moment to send her into an ecstasy of orgasmic pleasure, which could rival the power of 1,000 suns. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, whoa, that sounds like some fucking porno shit, man. But that's what came to me, man, out of nowhere. And I don't usually write things like that at that time, but it just came to me. And when you get things like that, you keep them, you cherish them, it's yours, you own it, you own that shit. Because it came to you, it's yours, and that's the starting point for continuing other things. It could be creative writing, anything. Don't even forget about names too. You can say, oh, this is a poem, this is a haiku. Fuck all that, man. Just write. Just put your feelings down. And write as you talk. Write as you feel. You know, don't worry about, oh, I gotta put the perfect grammar and this doesn't make sense. Fuck all that, man. Be spontaneous. All right. I really gotta get out of here. Love you guys. Later.